We always made it fun. Whether we weren't working or we were working, we all just meshed so well when it came to work. I always wanted to have my own company. I mean, I had no idea about business. I was like, what am I getting myself into? But I had to jump. Whenever I do something, I always set goals. Set a goal and execute that goal.
Hey guys, welcome to the Fifth Element podcast. I'm here with John Graham as well as Tommy Catlin of Element. Guys, welcome to the podcast.
What's going on, man?
How is it going, Tommy?
Oh, it's always going good.
So Tommy is the branch manager of the Arizona location as well as the SoCal location as well. Tommy, it's so good to see you, man.
Not just a part of the Arizona. He is a part of the organization.
Yes.
Right, and so I don't want to leave that out. So like Tommy is part of everything that we're developing here at Element. He is a part of the organization along with Dustin. We got some stuff going, but we won't get into that. But I did want to bring that up.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us how you guys met and your connection.
So we're both from Southern California. I wanted to move to Wyoming. We moved to Wyoming. I started a location in Wyoming, and Dustin and Tommy still lived in SoCal, and I needed help all the time. Like I was growing extremely fast and just needed good help. And finding good help is hard to come by. They were already in the industry and kind of brought up in the same way as me as far as like do whatever it takes, work as many hours as you have to get the job done, get the client taken care of. And so they were the two that I could call and depend on. If I said, hey, I have a job tomorrow that we need to get this going, and it has to be done by Friday or whatever it is, they would literally hop in their car, drive 14, 15 hours from SoCal to Wyoming, help me knock out the job. They were with me so much. I think you heard my wife talk about it earlier. Him and Dustin had their own room in my house. Like it was Dustin and Tommy's room, and then my kids shared a room so I can provide a bedroom for them. And it started off, man, I think in the first year in business up there, I had them out. I think they did like 15 or 18 trips to Wyoming, dead of winter, summertime, spring. We had a lot of fun while we were doing it too when we weren't working. But I think in 1 year, they probably drove 50,000 miles just in Wyoming trips.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun though. I mean, we always made it fun. Whether we weren't working or we were working, we all just meshed so well when it came to work, and we would all just go, knock it out, go back to his house, have a couple steaks, wake up early the next day and go do it again. And we always did it with a smile on our face. It's just who we are.
We'd be barbecuing when it was 35 below zero.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then, like, I think you probably helped us, let's just say, like, year 1 to year 3, or maybe even a little bit more than that. And
Yeah.
then you decided to go out on your own in California and build a branch out there, but that under your own brand.
Yeah. Yeah. So I always wanted to have my own company, and that was always a big goal for me to have my own company. It was just, whenever I do something, I always set goals. That's like my number one thing is set a goal and execute that goal. And when I came up plumbing with him and Dustin, I always try to just surround myself with they're older than me, and their experience and their knowledge is something that I wanted to gain. And so I would surround myself around that, and I would just really try to learn as much as I possibly could. And then once I felt like, all right, I think I can do this. I mean, I had no idea about business. I was like, what am I getting myself into? But I had to jump, it's either sink or swim, right? So I jumped, started my own brand, started my own company, and we just went on from there. And after about 4 years, my wife's family lives in Arizona, and she was like, I really want to be close to my family. And of course, any wife wants to be close to her dad, she's daddy's girl. So I got my license out there and just made the jump. I knew no one in Arizona. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, But as soon as I hit boots on the ground, I just strategized on how I started California and took that to Arizona, posting on Facebook and just doing whatever I could, talking to people, letting them know I'm a plumber, and it just kind of took off from there. So,
Love it.
yeah.
Where do you think that hard work ethic comes from? From your childhood or your parents or?
So my yeah. So my parents, as a kid, I was lazy as a kid. My mom always says, "I don't know how you're doing what you're doing now because you were such a lazy person when you were a kid." So I think I got it from both my parents though. My mom, she always worked as we were kids. My dad owns a construction business. I always worked with him. I started working with him when I was like 8 years old. Picked up a broom. He does all like remodel stuff, and I was always drawn to the plumbing aspect of it. And so I kind of leaned that way and took plumbing and just went for plumbing. So the work ethic definitely came from both of them,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
What's one of the biggest jobs you've done?
Um, I would say building a hospital was
Wow.
probably one of the biggest jobs, and it was actually with me and Dustin. And
Were you guys building hospitals in the beginning when, because that was like a year thing or a several year get down for you guys? But were you guys doing that when we first got into when you guys were helping me in Wyoming?
no, no, we weren't doing that. We kind of just started getting into that, and um, once we did one, we did another, and a lot of them. There was one building we did, and it was ground up. We did all the underground. They laid slab. We did all the top out, and then the other ones were kind of remodels and stuff. So that's where I learned a lot of new construction because I always jumped into service, and then I started learning new construction, and it comes back to learning how fast I want to learn, listening to them. How do I do this? How do I do this? I would stay up in the middle of the night and just go on the internet and just try to figure out diagnosing how to run this, how to venting, all this stuff, and I would just put that knowledge in my head because I knew where I wanted to be one day. So it it was a it's been a fun experience,
Yeah.
but
So you do a lot of commercial side, new construction, residential as well. So you've done literally everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So when it comes to Element, what's your vision for your locations that you're going to be managing?
Um just to grow, man.
Hmm.
Like me and John have a lot of the same visions, and we do work on impulse as far as like, let just sell it and let's get it done. And we'll figure it out along the way. And we always do. We figure it out, and it comes out great every single time.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
sure the customer knows that too. Like you guys just always get it done no matter what, and they can refer you, and you're a very reliable source for them, I would
But I think
imagine.
that's why we're so well rounded as far as because there's been countless times where like to figure it out. Not that we don't know what we're doing, but like we may not have the equipment. And I could do it this way, but we might need a $75,000 piece of equipment or something like that. And it's like we'll go buy it and we'll get it done, and then we'll have the equipment and we'll be able to serve other clients at that high level. And so that's as far as a plumbing company goes. They're very niche based as far as like well, they only do this, or they only do underground, or they only do that. We do everything. And so, like, if we need excavators, if we need dump equipment, if we need lining equipment, bursting, all of it, we get the equipment, we educate ourselves, and become masters at what we do. And that's part of that impulse thing. Is like most people don't go, well, go buy that piece of equipment, and we'll just do it tomorrow. And then most people say, well, let's sub that out. You know what I mean? And so we're very quick to make things happen and do things in house.
Yeah, I think a lot of fear probably holds people back from doing that. Like what if I buy the $70,000 piece of equipment, but I don't sell as many jobs with it? Now I'm stuck with this debt, if you will. But you guys know, no, we got it, and now we're going to use it for anything else. Or if other plumbers
Not
know
only do we
that know
buy
that,
one, we get so good at it that we end up going, we need another one.
yeah,
And we end up buying another that same piece of equipment because we're using that so
yeah,
much or we need it in a different location.
hmm
So we end up buying more of it. We just get really
hmm
good. I mean, there is a couple pieces of equipment that we've bought where it was like we used for a season, I would say, and then it wasn't our favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we just do it again and again and again.
Yeah, and that's, becoming a master at your craft, right? So you buy a piece of equipment, you master that craft because you have that equipment, and that gets you excited to go do more of that work. So now you're training your guys, you're teaching them how to use that equipment, you're teaching them how to do those jobs with that piece of equipment. That's getting them excited, and now we're putting that out in the world to service more customers in that way.
So when some of the people watching, when they hire you guys, Arizona, SoCal, anywhere else, what are some things that they can experience with you guys in terms of the service that they get from you guys?
I would say number one is becoming a friend, you know, building a relationship with them. That's like one of my biggest things, man, is like growing up, I've always wanted to serve people. I've always wanted to help people. And when I got into plumbing, I was like, oh, wow, like, you don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a paramedic to help people. This is helping people. We are literally helping people live their lives day by day. And that's super important to me because, I mean, if you can't take a hot shower, you know,
And clean water.
and clean water, then what are you living for? You know, people love those amenities and helping people. That's just a part of our experience. You know, we want to help people, we want to help our communities, and we want to be that neighborhood friendly plumber so they know that they can call us and we're guaranteed to show up and service them and help them.
I love it. What happens when yeah, maybe you have to go underground or it's a service call or something happens where you realize, oh wow, this project is bigger and now it costs more. How do you handle that with some customers? Do you tell them like, hey, we dug up underground and we realized that this is cracked and now we got to go further back. How do you guys fix things that have to escalate
If
or
we
get
did our
bigger?
job right from the beginning, we've explained, like, if there's unforeseen things, like plumbing is behind walls, it's underground. We have equipment to see it as best as we possibly can if you can get a camera out there or something like that. But for the most part, if we do our job explaining from the beginning, there's a chance, right? But if we also do our job perfect from the beginning as well, like, we're going to be pretty good. There's so many years of plumbing between me, you, and Dustin that we've pretty much seen it all. Like, rarely do we see new things where it's like, you know what I mean? And so if we explain ourselves in the beginning to the client, there's a possibility, but let's start here. We could replace the whole line and we give them that option to do that. But if everything looks good or we feel it feels good, we're going to give them the first option. But there's always a possibility with any kind of trade where you can get into open up other things.
Yeah, so really interesting. Yeah, love that. So I guess for other things that we could talk about real quick is when it comes to the growth that you guys are doing, you're going to be building a team. Yeah, you're going to be training a lot of people. Does that excite you to be seeing other people be successful and kind of create clones of yourself?
Oh, it's the most awesome feeling, man. Like being able to teach somebody what we've mastered is one of the best gifts in the world. When you become a business owner and you have employees, the feeling you get of their success is just unmatched. You see them buying the trailers, you see them buying the boats or the house or whatever. It's very exciting as a business owner to see that.
And I think that's why we teamed up, is because when you're running solo, it's kind of hard. And that, we'll touch a little bit about on how we got involved. You had California going. California was a healthy, strong business. You went to go run over in Arizona because you had a dream to move your family out of that state and get into your living, which Tommy lives off grid. Kind of, it's been a vision of his. He's got 900 animals and farm and all kinds of things. But that's how we got involved in it. But when you remove the passion and out of that state, go into a different state, that other state kind of hurts a little bit, right? And so that's why the team is so important, and that's how we kind of got back into this game together. Was you were shifting your focus towards Arizona, and you didn't know what to do with California, and so we got started creatively thinking. Element acquired your brand, which was Hard Luck Plumbing. We rebranded that. We're actually going through that process right now, still in California, dealing with the state there. And I think that you've seen that, like the team that we've built here, being a part of that team, being able to build your own team that can use this team and just use each other as best as possible. And so I think that there's power in numbers of like-minded people that want to push things to a certain level. And I think that Tommy will see other companies or other locations that he can bring aboard this ship that we're creating. And yeah, so I mean, you taking those two businesses put us now in 5 states from 3, and I never imagined being out of Wyoming. Like when we first started this, I just wanted it to be, I'm just gonna work, and as long as I made enough money, I'm not a money driven person. That's just kind of a byproduct of what we do. Um, but then we ended up in Colorado, and then we ended up here, and then over time, now Tommy's in here, and now we're in Arizona, and now we're California, and it's just gonna keep on growing. So
And it was an easy transition because when I've known John and Jamie for a long time, and ever since we started going out to Wyoming, it was this family bond. We always just we got along. And so when me and him started talking about the whole acquiring of Hard Luck Plumbing, it wasn't even really like a question in my mind. I knew the team was there. I knew they had my back. I knew I was going to give it my all. So it was a no-brainer for me. It was like, let's do it.
Yeah, love
So
that.
that's what we did.
So tell us about your 900 animals and your your
So-
whole compound you have.
Yeah,
he
so
hauls his water in. He doesn't even have water line running to his house.
Okay,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so me and my wife, we've always had kind of a niche for animals in Hesperia. We had
Oh
chickens.
yeah, ducks and
Yeah, we had ducks and chickens and stuff like that, and a garden and everything. And when we were looking for houses, we always wanted, some acreage. So we found this house in Williams with 10 acres. We moved out, and we have this dream of kind of self-sustainment. So as far as like gardening and raising our own meat and eggs and stuff, and not only that, but it's super important for my kids too. I wanted them out of the distraction of California, and I wanted them in a more rural land to where they could start learning that kind of stuff because who knows what's going to happen in the world, but raising your own animals, knowing the process of it, and being able to self-sustain is super big with me and her. And I mean, God provided us with this land, so why not use it, right? So we have sheep, we have pigs, we have chickens, we have 5 dogs, and we're just growing our little farm, man.
Yeah. How many kiddos do you have?
2. I have a 12-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
that's a good little gap right there.
Yeah, it's quite the gap.
We call that the puck that slipped by the goalie. So
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. It's been fun though, man. Like the 2-year-old, he's so wild, and being on land like that with animals, he just has free range to just run around and be a kid, and that's what I wanted growing up. And I can literally see him doing what I wanted to do growing up.
I love
So
it. Is it wooded, or do you have fencing around it, or how do you guys protect
So our
it?
whole 10 acres is fenced.
Nice.
And then we have split sections where all of our animals are and houses and stuff that me and my wife's dad and my dad, we've all thrown our hands at it and built houses and wood totes and water barrels and all kinds of stuff to self-sustain because we are on hauled water. So we have barrels at every station where once a week I have to go and fill up all the animals' water, and I have a trailer that I have to go 20 minutes away, pick up 500 gallons at a time and truck it to our house. So I do 3 or 4 loads a day when I do it.
Can you do well out there? Or is it...
The well or the water table's so low that they want like 150 to 200 grand to do a well.
Yeah.
But maybe at one point I
Yeah.
will, because it would be nice. But for now, we just do what we have
That's
to do,
awesome,
man.
Do you do any solar panels or a lot of things that?
So the only thing that we have there that is on grid is power. The rest, water, gas, that's all propane and hauled water. So that's the only cool thing about our property is it did have power come
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I
Yeah.
love that story.
even at 150, 200 grand, it's even hit and miss on what you're gonna get.
Exactly. And they don't, and I've called them and they're like, well, we could try.
How many feet are they going down for that?
Um,
A lot.
yeah, 500 something,
More than
600
that.
something. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's far. And it's weird because it snows up there and we have a lot of water, but for some reason our table's just the way it runs hits a crevice or something
Yeah.
down there. I don't know.
Crevasse.
A crevasse, yeah.
I love it. Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap this up?
No, just that I'm super stoked to have Tommy on this team, and we're just getting started. We're what? I mean, when you came aboard here, when we hired you to do marketing, that kind of stuff, it wasn't even a. I think it was in the works. Like it was an idea at the
Yeah.
time,
Mhm.
and then
You guys were flirting a little bit.
yeah, and we had contracts and my attorney and his attorney, and they'd go back and forth on all the details and all the working everything out. But we got everything worked out. That took a couple months.
Mhm.
So it's really only been 45 days or so.
Yeah, something like
And
that.
you guys are now building websites and doing LSA and all the stuff out there that you're doing for our other locations. So it's going to be really, really cool. Like we're just getting started. And Arizona really, really, really excites me. California excites me for other reasons. But I can't wait to watch what we do in Arizona and California.
Yeah, same here, man. Arizona, I just have this feeling about Arizona. We're just gonna take off in Arizona. Same with California.
We
but
just got a shop there.
yeah, we just got a shop.
So we just got a shop, a little warehouse and everything. So it's everything is moving and grooving. Arizona is what brought in the kind of we're going to be going through a rebrand here in the next hopefully 30, 60, 90 days or so, but we're getting vans wrapped. We've already, purchased vans. We're starting to purchase equipment,
Mhm.
get everything shipped out to Arizona, and yeah, the growth is going to be good.
Love it. Well, you guys watching, the whole wave of Element is coming to you guys there in Arizona, Southern California. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube if you're following us there, and like and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Look at Element there online, and we'll see you guys on the next podcast of The Fifth Element.